Hello and welcome back to another video on Football Zone and to another weekend preview. Big weekend of Premier League and Championship action coming up. First, get straight into the preview of Manchester United versus Southampton. And yeah, this is an interesting one because obviously, as we know, Manchester United aren't in a great run at the moment. Disappointing result in the last two games. Southampton are away win at Tottenham last time out. Who saw that coming? What a brilliant result that was. So they'll go into this one full of confidence and feeling confident they can do a job on United. But yeah, I just feel like this is a must-win game for United and they will have the quality to pull it off. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then, Brentford take on Palace at the Brentford Community Stadium. And yeah, this is an interesting game really. Brentford, they're in a free-fall at the moment really, aren't they? Dreadful run, and they do need to turn it around, otherwise they do risk getting sucked into a relegation battle. Palace, not the greatest run of form either, pretty inconsistent I think it's fair to say. So yeah, you do feel like this is a good game for Brentford to try and break their duck, and I think it will be a draw. I can't see them winning, but I think they will get something out of it. Moving on, Everton take on Leeds at Goodison Park, and yeah, Everton 3-1 defeat to Newcastle last time out. It's not going too well, is it, for Everton? Not really, is it? But yeah, Leeds 3-3 draw last time out. Great comeback, and I think they will take in confidence from that one. And it's a game where they feel like it'll be there for the taking. But yeah, once again, it is a 6-pointer, and both teams need a win. But I just feel like Everton could do it under the lights with Frank Lampard. I'll say 1-1. Moving on, Watford take on Brighton at Vicarage Road. Watford, not the perfect start to life under Roy Hodgson, but I wouldn't say it's been a disaster. Of course, a draw and a loss isn't great, but a clean sheet and a narrow loss to the team chasing Champions League football, it's not the end of the world. Against a Brighton side which aren't in the greatest form at the moment, drawn through the last 4 games and lost the other one. So yeah, it's a game that could go either way. I think it will be a draw. I don't see too much separation in the two teams, to be honest. Moving on then, Norwich take on Man City at Tower Road, and yeah, it's fair to say Norwich are rejuvenated, 3 wins and a draw from the last few games, and yeah, just dropping in the relegation zone now, but they're right in and around the area, so yeah, it'd be daft to write them off, really. But yeah, Manchester City, it's a game which you'd really expect them to win quite comfortably, and let's face it, they probably will win this one quite comfortably. I'm going to say 3-0, but yeah, hopefully it won't affect Norwich too much in the long run. Moving on then, Burnley take on Liverpool at Turf Moor, and yeah, this is an interesting one. Salah potentially back to Liverpool, we'll see. Mane, I don't think so, but yeah, we'll see. Liverpool, 4 wins on the trot, and they're looking really, really good at the moment, aren't they? Definitely going to come into this one full of confidence, and I can see it being another win here against the Burnley side, which, let's face it, aren't that great. Got us the result in a week, but still, Liverpool should have more than enough. Newcastle then take on Aston Villa at St James's Park, and this is a really interesting game. Eddie Howe, and hopefully that win last time out will get Newcastle going on the right path more consistently with all of the players that they brought in against the Villa side. But yeah, let's face it, is just being a bit inconsistent at the moment, aren't they, really? I think that's a way to describe it. So yeah, you do feel like this is a game which could go either way, and I'm going to say the score will be 1 apiece. Moving on then, Tottenham take on Wolves at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and yeah, this is another interesting one because obviously Tottenham with that 3-2 loss to Southampton last time out and blows the Champions League race wide open really. It does feel like anyone's game at the moment, and yeah, against the Wolves side who are still in and around that area, it'd be daft to write them off of the whole Euro break because they're still right in and around it. So yeah, you never really know, do you? And yeah, but I do feel like Spurs will have more quality. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then, Leicester take on West Ham at the King Power Stadium. And yeah, Leicester, they'll come into this one obviously really needing a result. Past form hasn't been brilliant, has it really? Against the West Ham side that have won 2 in a row now, although that killing is to kind of call it a win, it's better, yeah. But yeah, a 1-0 win to Watford. Obviously off the pitch stuff going on at the moment, I won't talk about it too much, but you do feel like it could maybe have an effect, especially away from home, so I'll go for a draw. But yeah, this is definitely a game which I think could go either way really. Moving on then to the Championship, and a Yorkshire derby is Huddersfield take on Sheffield United. And yeah, this is an interesting game. Huddersfield, obviously on a pretty solid run of form, unbeaten for a while now, but the same can be said about Sheffield United. So yeah, it's a game which could go really either way, and it's a game which I think both teams will be targeting to win and to really put their foot down to get into the playoff positions. But yeah, I think it'll be a draw here. I think the two teams will hold each other out. Moving on then to Barnsley versus QPR, and yeah, you'd have to say QPR are heavy favourites for this one, even with the loss and a draw in the last two games in all comps. Barnsley, what can you say about them? They just like losing, don't they, really? They're just they're just dreadful, really. I think that's the only way you can describe it. And yeah, QPR on a solid enough run at the moment, in 4th place, definitely looking good at the moment to get into the playoffs, or potentially even better. And yeah, it should be comfortable for this one for them, really, here. I'll say 2-0. Moving on then, Birmingham take on Luton at St Andrews. And yeah, Birmingham, not on the greatest run of form, lost the last 2 games now. So yeah, they do need a rebound, but against the Luton side, who's top of the form table, I think, since the beginning of December or something like that, which is really, really good for them. So yeah, it will be a tough game for Birmingham, and it's hard to see anything other than a Luton win when you can compare the two forms and see how good Luton are looking in the playoff race. So yeah, moving on then, Blackpool take on Bournemouth at Bloomfield Road, and yeah, Bournemouth, their form is not great at all, really, is it, for a team chasing promotion? But they did get the win last time out, but except for that, it's just been a lot of losses, really, and a win against Barnsley, but does that really count? But yeah, Blackpool, their form is probably better than Bournemouth, so it's a game that could go either way, but I just feel like Bournemouth do need to turn it on now with the race for the autumn at the moment. I think they will. I'll say 2-0. Moving on then, Hull take on Fulham at the KCOM Stadium, and yeah, Hull obviously were really poor in that 3-1 defeat to Derby last time out, and they'll be looking to rebound, but they have lost 2 in a row now, which is a bit concerning. But Fulham, you know, they're still looking as strong as ever under Marco Silva, absolute search for promotion, just running away with the league at the moment, tearing teams apart on a weekly basis, and it's hard to see anything else happening here, really. I'll say 2-0 to Fulham. Moving on then to a game which could have a bit of spice for all the off-field reasons at the moment, Middlesbrough against Derby. And yeah, this is a game that I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, Derby just on a brilliant run at the moment, only 4 points off the survival. It's just unbelievable, really. But yeah, Borough, of course, on a great run themselves, solid draw in the week, and you know, still on great form, obviously winning at Old Trafford last time out. But yeah, never rule Derby out, that's one thing we've learnt this season. And yeah, I think Borough will get the win, but you know, it's still a hard one to call. Moving on then, Forest take on Stoke at the City Ground, and yeah, Stoke, they're on a solid enough run at the moment, 2 wins and a draw in the last 3, but Forest 4 wins in the last 5 as well. So yeah, it's a game which really could go either way, really, to be honest, couldn't it? But yeah, you do feel like Forest at home, with how well they're playing at the moment, they're probably the favourites, but you know, Stoke on a decent run, it's hard to rule them out as well, so I'll say 1-0 to Forest. Moving on then, Peterborough take on Preston at the Western Home Stadium, and yeah, Peterborough, I mean, like in the FA Cup they're great, destroying QPR and all that, but yeah, in the league they don't seem to be too much good, losing 4-0 to Cardiff. That really is a shocker of a result. And yeah, with Reading's form at the moment, yeah, it's a miracle they're not out of the drop zone, to be honest. But yeah, I think it just sums up how bad Peterborough have been, really. And it's hard to see it not continue against the Preston side that are doing really well at the moment. I'll say 1-0. Speaking of double, Reading take on Coventry at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. And yeah, Reading, what can you say, really? A 2-1 defeat to Bristol City. I mean, I suppose it's better than some of the hammerings they got recently, but you know, still another loss, and this time against the worst team, let's say. But against Coventry side, who, yeah, I think they're going along okay at the moment. Nothing too special, but you know, they still should have more than enough to beat Reading, and I think they will do. I'm going to say 1-0 to Coventry. Moving on then, Millwall take on Cardiff at the Den, and yeah, this is an interesting game because Millwall obviously really struggling for form at the moment, just can't get it consistent at all, really, and against the Cardiff side, who definitely have picked up a lot recently, 3 league wins on the trot, so they're going to come into this one full of confidence. And Millwall, Steve Morrison returning, be an interesting atmosphere. But yeah, I don't think this will be an easy game for Millwall at all, to be honest. And I can even see Cardiff snatching a point. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw in this one. Moving on then, Swansea take on Bristol City at the Liberty Stadium. And yeah, this is a game really between two lower mid-table sides. Two teams not in great form at the moment, really. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see which way this goes. But I think Swansea, they are a decent side, but they just need some form, really, don't they? And yeah, they just don't have that at the moment. But you think home advantage, kind of close game. I think they will be able to nick the win here. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to the last game, and this is an interesting one. Two teams in the promotion race that are kind of slipping up a bit at the moment, West Brom and Blackburn. And yeah, Blackburn, the race for the top two isn't quite looking as good as they would want it to at the moment for them, really, is it? Which is a bit of a concern. But, I think just staying in the playoffs would be a solid result for them, and I think they should have the quality to do that, really. But West Brom, they need wins just to start getting back in the race, because it's looking tough for them at the moment. But yeah, I think it'll be a draw here. I think there won't be a lot to separate the two sides. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. For like, share, subscribe, remember to thoughts, comments down below. Find out links to over daily football news, and subscribe to the channel on screen, and I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.